Grand Rising family, it's Shay Seeking, and this is Not Your Mama's Bible Study, along with a little bit of His Stories Lies. We're going to go ahead and do something a little bit more unchained or unearthed today. Um, I'm just going to do a couple more of these little quick videos about some things that people don't understand because they're not slowing down and paying attention. They're going off of feelings. Because people don't slow down and pay attention and be mindful about how they act. They want to act the same way that we've been doing over the past centuries with no change. Okay, so if you're not changing, how can you expect any part of the system to change? Okay, because again, you really control the narrative, but most of us are waiting for a savior, okay, that's never coming in the form that they've shown you. The Christos is within you. This whole thing with this corona and this crown chakra, that's talking about you. This is what they're getting military prepared in all of these different states in order to do, right? So think about this as the last stand of the American Aborigine. Either you got it correct this time or you will be taken down. I doubt that's going to happen. The spirit leads me to say that that's not what's going to happen. But if we decide to keep on attacking a something with the same weapon that never worked over time, you will never be able to get over this. Okay, this is something like the last hoorah, right? Okay, and it depends on the way we. Okay, do we allow them to control the narrative, or do we really, you know, unite as one? Don't mean we have to be in each other's faces. We can do this again from where you stand. You don't even have to go out there in the street. They want you to do that. Remember, family, that organ harvesting is a thing. They are looking for antibodies for this so-called virus. You hold the key to lots of these things. You also, okay, when it comes to human trafficking, our daughters are missing at an alarming rate. So are others. But again, for us to be so-called the portion of the population that they say we should, this should be something that should really sink in. Okay, right. So we're going to talk about the Casualty Killing Act. Okay, now this one says of 1669, but I think there was one even earlier, maybe 1617 if I'm not mistaken. Maybe we can go into it a little bit more if you guys like this type of video. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm just here to get us to think. Okay, and I'm also not here to tell you what it is or what it ain't. I'm just simply sharing with you guys what it looks like to me. Okay, so again, this is supposed to help you, although it will turn into something that might throw some people off guard and seem some kind of way if you're in a certain mindset. If you have not elevated to a higher level of consciousness, you are probably going to be turned off from what I'm going to say. But again, that's not going to stop me. It never has. So a look at the Casualty Killing Act of 1669 that made it legal, okay, to kill a slave at will. Now this says face-to-face Africa, but we know that most of the American Aborigines were already here in the Americas and her islands, okay, prior to 1492. Okay, we also know that there were darker view melanated people that originated in all of these so-called continents. They did not just come from Africa. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so we see here, are we going to be able to see the whole image? No, we're not. Are we? Let's see. Nope. Okay, so we're not going to be able to see the whole image. Okay, but you can clearly see there that this is a so-called Caucasian man. Again, we deal with the caste system heavily on this channel because if you're not aware of the caste system, you will not understand anything that's going on. Because again, we are at a place right now where we are so illiterate to the forms of tools and weapons, including your celebrities, okay, and anyone in the political arena, okay. anyone in mass mainstream media, you don't know that these are all your enemies. You don't see that both of the fucking birds are on the same, both of the wings are on the same bird. Okay? Okay? So it doesn't matter who or what they look like got into that White House. Again, I'll mind you that there has not been an American Negro or so called Negro that is really an American Aborigine, meaning having origins in this land, that has been in that White House. When you run it up under someone like Obama because you're uneducated on the decision that you're making, what you are doing is basically going into the trap or the thing that they're trying to set up and snare us. This could be something good. I'm not telling you I know exactly what it is, or it could be something very awful if we are not vigilant. But I see some moves being made, and I see some brown faces being pushed up to the front line at a heavy rate. I mean, I'm talking about everything they're putting out on the news. Everybody, you're just starting to see this transformation, right? And I'm just wondering again if this could be them, okay, trying to take. They're pushing these agendas, but they're taking the so-called Caucasian or white face out of the arena. They're going to place these people that have been here side by side with them, but you never see their face, the darker version of them, okay, that are foreign, that showed them the way to America in order to enslave you and taught them a lot of things that they needed to know about how your people behaved because you were having dealings with them, okay, okay, in order to find a way in and defeat, okay. So again, when I'm talking about Europeans, they didn't all just come here as so-called light-skinned people. Most of the Slavic people, the people at the commoners, peasants, and servants at the bottom of the caste system were olive or tan-skinned people, okay, when they came here. But there was also a darker version people that came here with the European side by side, again, showing them the way. And I'm going to show you where you're going to see these particular people and how I'm showing you that when it comes to anyone in a position of government, which they all, including Obama, share a same common ancestor. So again, you have to think about that because that means that he is a part of the foreign entity that is a corporation that is in your nation that is helping. Okay, and see, this is why these so-called leaders never led you any fucking where. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is more than about what you see, what you read, what history said. This is about discernment. This is about tapping into a higher level of consciousness. This is talk about going all the way in and back to the source. I don't go on real deep. See, I don't go real deep because I'm just someone that is trying to be that person that is crossing you over, right? So I don't go that deep into these things, but if you really cared, you would take the time out to do your own research, right? Okay? Again, forget you grown folks. Forget all these grown folks that cannot, okay, that cannot seem to understand that we have to do something different, okay? I'm talking about these babies that's going to be left behind when you running off into the street to fight something that you will not win if you fight that way. It has never happened. Nothing magical. Jesus the Christ is not going to come down and stop this. He did not stop slavery or nothing else that has happened so far. He has not even managed to lock up really probably one. I don't follow the stuff like that because I see it for what it is. Okay? Rather, like I said before, whether somebody is getting harmed or not, this shit is a psyop. It is used to control a narrative, or they would not be putting it on the news like that. Again, you can go ahead and comment down below when the last time you seen a so-called white person being gunned down or slaughtered, where their children can go and look at this video and see what these people feel. They know how we think. They know we have a one unit mind, and if we put that towards the betterment of our people and not protecting these celebrities and these people that are actually the ones that are at the top that are raining on us, if you see it for what it is, right? Okay, so maybe I just lost my track of mind, but what I'm saying is tell me when you've seen this happen, either them being killed by a white person so-called or a black person. Usually if something happens to somebody, Okay, they usually show a couple clips and smiling, happy pictures of them or something in their family, and they, oh, newscasters are so fake. You could just read. See, if you are a seer, you can see these things. We all have gifts that you guys will refuse to tap into because, again, you're dealing with cognitive dissonance, and you don't want to see the truth. It will hurt you so bad. All of us, I've been where you are, a lot of you, but again, I chose to quiet down the world around me and center myself and put my feet on the ground, right? Okay, bring my head up out of the clouds looking for somebody that's going to be coming to save me so I can focus on something that may actually work. Okay, again, but I cannot do this alone. I have a lot of soul siblings again in the group American Aborigines Unchained on Facebook that is definitely sharing information like this and alternative information that will at least allow us to think. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this, and I'm going to show you what I mean by this. So we see this Caucasian man, whatever, about to whip this man. So it says, what escapes many people is the whimsical killing of enslaved blacks in the U.S. Again, U.S. corporation during slavery. Okay, and of course we're now here, and the same thing is going on. So my question is that's being asked is, has this ever been resent, or is this still something that is active? You dig? And this is why no one goes to jail, really. Right? Okay. So again, you can bitch and moan and go out in the street and cry and whine and do the same shit that the same skin folk that make you think that they're on your side, that come from these bloodlines of the higher up people that work for them in order. Is the world is a fucking stage. They are there to play and try to control the narrative. Again, it all rests on the back and the wings of that fucking American eagle. Okay? All right? So, okay, and even after during slavery, and even after by white folks, okay, again, they can also be black, so-called black. They can be dark skinned, is what I'm saying. These are the children of God that live in the abode, that are protected by law. See, you're not. You're dead by law by calling yourself black and African American, which are misnomers. They do not fucking exist. But since they gave them to you and you trust that they gave you something that actually really means something, you're going to hold on to it and be prideful of it instead of knowing where it really stems from. Okay, but then you call me the one that's not thinking. Okay. So even after by white folks without, and these are just the lords or landlords or massa. See? Okay. So without punitive consequences. Well, it's based on laws passed by white politicians. Again, white politicians and their so-called black counterparts. Okay, like a Jesse Jackson that came up with the term in 1989, African American, knowing exactly what he was doing, removing you further from your original status. Okay. Who happen to be plantation owners as well. So again, if you guys listen to any of my Aborigine Unchained Bible studies, you will understand what this basically means. This is God's children punishing their property. That's just exactly what it is. And there's no God in the sky. He's right there. Okay, it's an energy or whatnot, because the president is just the front man. He doesn't have any power. Some of these people look like they can't even read, really. Okay, so let's stop. Okay, you think we couldn't find nobody that would be a little bit more intelligent, or somebody that in this whole country, please? Really? Well, again, the way the school system operates really is it's made and created to keep you down here. Okay, to keep you never reaching for anything higher. Same thing when it comes to church, spiritually, never reaching for anything higher. Okay, so again, we don't have to get too deep. Everything is really easy to understand, especially once you start looking into the caste system and how it works, and understanding that this so-called matrix is nothing but that. Okay, one such devious law is the Casualty Killing Act of 1669, which declared it legal to kill a slave while correcting because malice could not be presumed. Now, again, I don't know if I finished that sentence because I lost my train of thought, but you tell me any story that's mainstream that has made it on the media and been, again, played and replayed so little white children can go and watch it and be mentally affected by these things. You tell me, again, if whether it's a so-called white person or a so-called black person killing a white person, which video can you produce for me right now that shows this happening? You're not going to find it. You're probably more than likely not going to find it. And you know why? Because they use their media and all of these celebrities speaking up, shame on them. They are against you. They hate you. And especially right now, they're ready to be done with you because you're stopping their flow. This whole thing is stopping their flow. If you still think it's about the corona, again, hence, I don't know if you guys have watched any clips about this guy. I forget his name that was just supposedly murdered by the police. And again, just by looking at some things of old and whatnot, I'm noticing that brick wall behind him that supposedly stands for Freemasonry. Again, I am just bringing up information that I've run across. You can do your own, okay? Also, okay, so these are some of the signs that showed up around when you start really looking at the whole thing with the little boy with the hoodie and the Skittles, okay? Again, you're going to also notice that he's standing in one of those pictures by a sign that has a Corona beer on it, okay? So I'm just saying, I pay attention to what's going on in the background. I don't just go off of what somebody is showing me initially. There's always something in the background that is screaming out or speaking. And I'm just saying, you might say that's nonsense, but again, you're not doing this type of research. You have not been open yourself up to using the gift of discernment on that level. I've been practicing this for a long time. I've been studying these people and their works for a very long time. While you guys are out doing whatever you're doing and partying and thinking it's fun to do other things, again, me and the people that think like me are doing work. Again, we are the ones that's going to be shunned or shut up or killed even by our own people, just like a Jesus figure, okay? Figure is what I said, in the biblical text would have been. Okay? So, let's see. While correcting, because malice could not be presumed. Again, is this what's going on with the riot? They want a reason. The past couple of weeks, since that Ahmaud thing came out, and then now these other little things, they're just look at him. Look at that cop in that still shot of him with his knee on that man's. And they choose the best clips to go ahead and put up on the internet, right? And it's looking like, yeah, motherfucker, yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is what happened, right? If you just look into his eyes when he's looking at the camera, I'm just saying, okay? I'm just amazed that some people can't see, okay? The casual killing of slaves. And again, if you're calling yourself black or African American, that means you're someone's property, and that means that more than likely you are still a slave. Now, this could be so for other groups here, but right now this is what we're talking about, okay? Says that if a slave dies while resisting his master, again, the master, the Lord, God, whole system, when it comes to the caste system, the act will not be presumed to have occurred with prepense malice. Okay, so again, when someone's saying, well, he shouldn't have or she shouldn't have talked back, see, you don't pick up the symbolism. You don't see their works because you're afraid to study the enemy because you're going to see the truth. You'll rather just listen to the stuff they tell you at the surface and not really do your due diligence. So who is the real person that is really harming the people and not doing anything for the people at the end of the day? Okay. The men of General Assembly of Virginia completely removed the penalty. Okay, so the men of General Assembly of Virginia completely removed the penalty for those by chance murdered a slave in the process of punishment, as the black laborer was deemed to be property. Again, you are still property. If you have a social security number, okay, if you have a birth certificate here in America, so you can go off your feelings, you can get mad, you can go to whatever you want, but you ain't doing your damn research. And this is why we're going to replay the same thing. That's insanity. That's insanity. To keep doing the same thing that don't produce results for you and your people, that's insanity. I told y'all before, when they come back from this damn shutdown, you should be still chilling in your damn house. When they want your kids to come back to school, they should not be going back there. When they want you to come back to work, you should not be going back there. People should be planning and getting, but again, that's too far fetched. You couldn't believe it. You can't see not being able to go to the store and get Nikes and all this shit. If you want to change, you're going to have to go ahead and give up something, and you're going to have to, you want me to give up my damn life? So my children to be left here with these people by running out in the fucking street? You crazy as hell. You better get prepared, and you better be prepared to sit on your ass and get connected with the people that look like you in your damn community. That's the only way that this is going to change. And I would suggest when they call to see what the niggas going to do for the vote, I suggest you don't. When they want you to vote, I suggest you block it. Again, my little message is not going to reach that many ears, and you don't have to go through the extremes that I'm telling you. Again, we won't get the results that we want. But you should be able to take something. You should see where I'm coming from, what my priorities are, okay? And what I'm trying to relay to you. Because I have been trying to find, and maybe one of you can help me, that dig a little bit deeper in this subject. I'm trying to see if this bill was ever reset. Meaning it's not valid anymore. Because if not, this, my friends, this is why it's important to know your story so that you do not have to repeat it. So when I'm trying to tell you that this is not about race, it's about classism, meaning where you fit in when it comes to the caste system. Where you it's just a simple thing to look into. This is the power that be above us, right? The cloud brooding over, see, right? This is the earth. This is the surface of the earth, right? This is the offspring. Some of these people sprung from the earth, meaning they are indigenous people, but they are a seed between. Think about Adam and Eve and how God was upset and what he actually said in the beginning, and how he said that he was going to go ahead and put enmity between the seeds. Again, this is her seed, America. This is his seed, the foreigners. This is, he sent his children here, right? The priest and he sent these people to get in your head first, give you a false perception of the thing with their bishop's Bible, which they were only allowed to have. You did not have one. Nobody had one at that time. Okay. These are also the lords and the angels, or today we call them presidents, and we call them forces, like the armed forces, or, the police and military. At some point in time, they would have been called the kings and warriors. This is that group of people. This is what this is the part of the abode of God in the firmament, the establishment, or the structure that is hovering still over the earth. You are down here in the hell, with Hades or the Sheol, or down in the death. Again, calling yourself black is exactly what that means. But they tricked you by making black something prideful back in the 70s, and again, ignorantly, we go for it. They produce something and we consume the shit. And you want to talk to me because I want to go ahead and use discernment and listen to something that is a little bit more elevated than that, and I want to do my research? No. This is the Sheol right here. Again, if you look at the dome earth, you'll see what I'm saying, with the serpent wrapped around it, again, because the serpent people were here in the Americas prior to 1492. In South America, the plumed serpent, when it comes to the people of South America, okay, Montezuma and these people, okay, that also went through changes as empires. Again, ancient Egypt and America, this is what I look into, okay. The American gods, or whatever you want to call them. There was versions of different empires throughout the southern and the coast areas in the Americas. It's just, it is what it is. You have to dig and do your own research, because they will not tell you this in school. Again, if anything that you're going to be learning in academics is going to have to revolve around these people in their works, anything in the priest is going to have to revolve around religion and the works that's doing on your mind and giving you a false notion or perception. Anyway, it goes, they're both man-made structures, and they are there to fight against the spiritual inner God in you. This structure is set up in your body. They removed it, right? Your body or group, meaning a whole body of people, okay? They removed it, put you at the bottom. Again, this used to be attached when the pharaohs used it in ancient Egypt. Everybody was treated fairly. There was no enmity between. But these people came in. Again, I kind of showed you guys on this one. This would have been the pharaoh, and this is how the caste system would have looked. No one was excluded. Everybody worked together. This is how these people, that were some foreigners, worked them way up into the dynasties, like the 18th dynasty. Yes, there were so-called white Egyptians then. Again, I'm looking darker ages, was this 15 dynasty, 16, whatever. Okay? Again, hence, it's the same amount of time when they came to America and started really making moves here. It just is what it is. So when you look down here, again, in the Sheol, which is being dead by law, the enmity, again, and then they took some of these people out of there in 1776 and freed them and then put them in the, I would call it an ark, but just saying, because everybody have their own version of what they think the ark is. But again, I digress. And keep them there. Matter of fact, that reminded me of the video I have to do. 2 of each, whatever, and then, see? And then I think it said something about, I'm going to go into a video. I got something for y'all. I got something for y'all later, okay? So anyway, this is just what it is. This represents, again, celebrities, people in politics that are not the president, all the other people that make all the workings and the taxes that you pay, and all the stores and the merchants, and you know what I'm saying? Not entrepreneurs, but the merchants and the celebrities that work with them. Again, celebrities are not there for your entertainment. They're there to push agendas and sell things for these people. So again, they are up there. They play around with you. Okay, this is what it is. Okay, so again, we have to really dig a little bit deeper and see what we're talking about here, because what I want to tell you is that those are not the only people that were whipping you. Those are not it's the same thing. Look at this image right here, and you tell me that this ain't the same thing that you seeing today. Let's just pause, because again, this is just random. I don't even know where I'm going with this. You know, y'all know how I am sometimes when I'm going off subject or whatever. But again, you tell me what's different about this. This is the image they want to portray all the time. Here is the image that was also going on here. This is a foreign, okay? This is dry land from another, biblically, okay? Dry land from another continent, a European, a foreigner, okay, that were sent here for rain, in order to reign. And some of these people went into your family lines, made you think some kind of way, and then as soon as they had standing, what happened to you? Okay? Again, look at this. Except, again, we can look at this image that we just saw before. Here's the man, the white man. Here's the slave. Lots of slaves over here. One white man. One black man. Do you see anyone coming over to help or assist? Okay? So the time to act is not when you want to run out in the street. The time to act is when you see it happening on the fucking street. If you really bout it, try all that hostility that you got pent up towards me or anybody else that's speaking this type of language about being smart about what the hell we do next. And you go over to the cop and you stop what's going on instead of recording. Again, they look like the Negroes that'd be sitting there. Oh man, no, don't do that to him. Don't do that to him. He even got something in his hand right here. Oh, I guess he waiting his turn, right? He probably waiting his turn so he can whip this next man, right? Same thing, under the supervision of the lords, the massa, okay? His brother. These is family. They came from the same place to come over here and invade you, strip you naked, and take your shit. Along with other people. See, where his dress is different. French, you know, all these. And then they started fighting amongst each other. And, you know, it's just a whole mess by then. Okay? So again, before you go talking to me about Obama, in my eyes, this is what Obama represents. I know in order for him to be up in that White House, he had to come from one of these bloodlines. And this is why he's doing the works of his. Matter of fact, that just remind me of saying doing the works of your father. Because again, his father would have been a European that was of lighter complexion from another country. Now, this should not make anyone hate anyone or look at anything. We weren't there back then, but we're here to do something now. And all you need to really know is that these people are not you. It's never been about race. I already did the whole video on race and the word and what it actually means, not just my opinion. Okay? It was never really used for your tone until a certain time, and they saw they can benefit from it. And you're falling for it every single time. This is about those that are the powers that be, okay, in high places, okay. That's where so-called this Satan, right, is supposed to be ruling from. Because again, Satan and the devil and Lucifer and all these other terms, and the serpent, these are all different beings. At least the serpent, I feel, is different. Okay, so again, in high places, okay. So anyway, when they say that serpent is running things, Satan is running things, they said that he's doing it from the heavens. Oh my goodness, really? Okay, he's doing it from the realms of heaven. So I'm just confused as to why y'all think you reading your Bible and you see it any other kind of way. Okay, so again, here's another image. It was not just them. These are the actual people as well. And I'm telling you right now that that's what they're acting. Just like somebody could say, oh, you're a real Judas. Well, again, Obama is a real whoever these people is. I don't want to give them no names because I don't know. Right? I see differently. So, again, pay attention. Pay attention. It's not about race. It never has been. They keep you fighting about race and money here at the bottom, while they run the world in wicked ways from the top. And I don't care about not one person that you're supposed to be worshiping on this television. It does. And the only people that I'm in tune with and that I listen to is the people that's actually digging and doing their own research and trying to change things in that way. And although it may not seem much to you guys, some of you, that which screams ignorance to me, and you really don't want betterment for your people, you just want to talk shit. It matters a bunch to the group as a whole. And some of us are wholeheartedly concerned about our people, and a couple of dollars won't change that. These groups right here, a couple dollars will change that. A couple dollars for Obama would change that. See, this is what you need to understand. It ain't about skin no more. It's about who is connecting collectively in a certain mindset. Now let's carry on. I want to thank you guys for listening and take care. This is Shay Seeking from American Aborigines Unchained on YouTube and on Facebook. You can also find me on Instagram at Shay_Seeking. You guys, please be vigilant. Enjoy your day and take care.